Champion.
Wow. Was this weekend amazing? Every one of us is born to pursue our destiny. And sometimes we're given a glimpse of the future by way of dreams. God will give us a dream, but He knows the destination. I remember about 2 years ago when I was given the dream to reconcile in my past relationship, and I thought that it meant that the relationship would get better. And I started going down the path of being the best person I could be to maintain the relationship. And what wound up happening is the relationship still failed. But the reality is the reconciliation was not for the relationship, but it was for me. Sometimes we have to reconcile with ourselves. Because we're all born looking like our parents, but we'll die looking like our choices. How many folks believe that you got the right information today? Can I tell you the difference between a fool and an artist? An artist will take the information and they will paint on the canvas of their imagination the most beautiful picture, and they'll start moving and drawing toward it. But a fool will get the right direction and still take the wrong road. I am so humbled in spirit today to be here because I remember when they said it wasn't possible, but understand that possibilities for you are not limited to the people that you currently know. I want you to lock into your why. You saw so many amazing leaders on this stage, and sometimes you'll hear the question, how did you do it? Never ask how, ask why. My beautiful 8-year-old son, Camden, has autism. Don't feel bad for me because he has the best doctors in the world. My goal when I got into Paycation was to get to a place where I could create enough income, not if come, enough income that no government agency would ever have to rear him. People said, you seem to have a lot of the nice things. Why do you continue to do what you must do? Because the more folks I help get to $100,000 a month in income, the closer I get to saving my son. You know, again, I grew up in the projects in Baltimore, and it was tough looking like me. But I always held on to that one verse from Rakim. He said, it ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. And I started understanding, where was I at? And I realized where I was always a result of my previous thinking. And in order to get a different result in life, you must change your thinking. How do I know that's true? Because if you ever got a bad piece of fruit, you just throw the fruit away. Don't yell at the fruit, yell at the root. If you don't go within, you must go without. Change your thinking, change your life. Here's what I want to leave you with today, and I'll be very brief. I want you to understand that I personally believe that the better your belief system, the better your results. But it's not just one thing to believe. You must understand what is believing. You must understand what impacts your believing. And I'll leave you with these three things. I believe that your believing is impacted by your words, your images, and your emotions. Every morning you heard Chad Thompson talk about that he wakes up and he goes out and he has affirmations, your words. I know that words are the beginning of everything because it says in the beginning was the Word. So that word is creation. What you start speaking over and over again must manifest itself. Every single day I said I am happy and grateful that I'm an international diamond in Paycation travel by May 1st, 2015, and we did it on February 27th. If you do it before or after, it has nothing to do with the power of the gratitude. You're all going to have challenges. We all have challenges. We all have adversity. Embrace the challenge. What would David have been without Goliath? He wouldn't have been king, right? Your words. What are you speaking over and over and over again into your life? Right? Your images. What do you see when you go home? Is your television on? I turned my television off, my cable off in August of last year. I started off to do a 30-day mental fast. I turned it back on when we hit International Diamond. I caught up on Scandal in 1 week. Right? I want you to know that everything in your life, everything that we're currently experiencing, we saw before it happened. I said this before. I saw it. Turn that word around, S-A-W. I was it a long time ago. Thank you, Spencer Iverson. He called me and he told me very clearly, matter of fact, he said, I am making a move into another business. He didn't call me to recruit me. He was just planting the seed of what he was doing. Does that make sense? There are some seeds that you must plant because the seed is always the beginning of a new beginning. It's the beginning of a new beginning. And when he called me, because he had made millions of dollars, I at least was smart enough to say, can I see it too? Right? But your image is so important. There was a time about 3 years ago that you couldn't walk into my home without seeing the house that I would live in, without seeing the car that I would drive, without seeing the body that I would have, without seeing the suits that I would wear, without seeing the happy family that I would have. You must see it in order to receive it. Your images. I had 5x7 cards in my wallet for 7 years. I'm happy and grateful I make $50,000 a month in income in that particular company. It didn't happen there, but the manifestation has finally arrived. And the only reason some of you didn't clap because it's not your money, I know. But praise comes before the reward. Celebrate yourself in advance of the victory. See, this is what winds up happening every single time. There was a little boy, he was walking over to his father. He was complaining about he was being bullied in school. His test grades weren't that good. He started talking about, there's days I don't go to school, Father. You don't understand. The teacher doesn't like me. My tests are too hard. And the father said, son, I understand all that. Go into the kitchen, put some carrots into the pot, put some put some eggs into the pot, and then put some coffee beans into the pot. What does that have to do with my problems, Daddy? Boy, do what I said. So the son goes into the kitchen and he puts carrots into the pot. Deion Ramos, he puts eggs into the pot. Pastor Knox, he puts coffee beans into the pot. He says, son, put some water into there. Father, you have no idea. I can't even drive the car anymore. I got a speeding ticket. My insurance has gone up. I can't afford to even drive anymore. Do you know what's going on in my life? Son, make that water boil. Why is my father not listening to me? Does he not know that my life is crazy? I've considered suicide. You don't understand what's going on in my life. I got adversity. Son, is the water boiling yet? Daddy, the water's boiling. Son, pour the water off. Do you know what's going on in my life? Have you poured the water off yet? See, sometimes we must know the difference between a friend and a mentor. So your friend will love you for who you are, but your mentor will choose never to leave you that way. And when the son poured the water off, his father asked him to put each one of those items in separate bowls. He said, Daddy, the carrots are mushy. He said, that's what happens when life, adversity, the boiling water gets on you. Some people just turn to mush. He said, son, what's going on with the egg? He said, Daddy, the egg is hard boiled. He said, that's what happens. Some folks just get hard on the inside. And at the slightest touch, they just crack. said, well, what in the world are you going to do with these coffee beans? He said, what happened to the coffee beans? He said, nothing. The coffee beans decided to change their environment. They made coffee. What? I'm thirsty. I want you to know the words, the images, and the emotions. You can change everything in your life on demand by changing your emotions. Are you grateful for everything? As you go through pain, ask God for the lesson in the moment. I'm happy and grateful for every challenge. Because inside of the word challenge resides the word change. The same letters are there. But see, sometimes what we think about most manifests itself. What you think about over and over and over again tends to grow. See, here is all of our negative thinking from years. It should be pure. Children continue to grow and they thrive in their emotions because they're happy, and it's only because we beat them down with millions of no's that they tend to get cloudy, negative thoughts. And sometimes you'll come to an event like this, and you'll get filled up with some good stuff, some pure thoughts, some inspiration, and hey, I'm excited, I got the pure good stuff. But it doesn't change. See, what you must understand is you can't pour a little bit in and expect to win, expect new thoughts, expect new beginnings. You must do what's called displacement. You must take out all the old stuff in order to get to the new stuff. See, you gotta keep pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring. And when you run out, you gotta get some more.